Hey everyone, this is Walter from iWalter. You know what? It's actually going. It's a quarter of 3 a.m. in the morning, so it is Tuesday, May 4th. I actually did not want to do a show tonight, believe it or not. But in some ways, but in other ways, I actually did. So I guess what kind of was my encouragement tonight was there was a friend and coworker at work. He had mentioned something that it kind of like really upset me. I don't think he did it intentionally, but it really upset me. Because my sensitive spot is when people, basically if they lie or are hypocrites or something like that. Now my friend isn't. He's not any of the above. He's a really cool dude. But he said something about somebody, a coworker that worked at our job that had left for a better job. She got like this girl who got a better job. And I just don't understand people, and that's what disturbs me because I've never done anything to anybody that was, they're build it up like, hey, hey, you're an asshole or something else, and it's like I've suffered with being picked on all my life. It's actually funny because I just had finished. I'm not going to make it a 3-hour show tonight. I'll tell you that much. I hope I don't, because then that means I'll be going to bed at like 6 in the morning. But I just got watching. I can't remember how to say her last name, but this girl, I just have such a crush on her. It's a girl. She only weighs like 50 pounds. She's like 25 years old. She can't gain weight. And I have her on, friended her on Facebook. And I actually said, hey, her big inspiration. I think she's a beautiful girl. I really do. I'm not even just saying that. Oh, you're just saying that because, But she has this rare disease, or not even a disease. I don't even use that word. But a rare ailment. She can't gain weight. I guess by the look, she lives in Texas. Her name's Lizzie, though. And she got picked on for a very long time, which I was kind of shocked, honestly. I really was. She was called the world's ugliest looking woman when she was in high school. Somebody posted her picture on Facebook, I think it was actually Facebook, when she was in high school. She's only 25, 26, maybe 26, 27 now. I don't know. I'll have to look her up. But I think she was always really cute. I think she's adorable. And I wrote her. I said, hey, listen, Lizzie, I bought your documentary on, I know I'm going astray now. Just seeing if I can find her really quick. Yeah, her last name is spelled Velasquez. Looks like she has official page. I think she's just adorable. I think she's so cute. So I actually wrote her. She posts, she does YouTube videos and stuff. And I'd love to meet her. I really would. But I couldn't, she doesn't take personal posts. You can't post on her page. I don't know how people do it, though, because I see people who do. So I end up just having to private message her, and I don't know if she got, think I was making it up. It's like, no, I really, adore her. I adore, I can't say you because I'll be talking to the general audience. I don't know you people. So if anybody who does listen to me, I honestly don't know who is and who isn't. So I wrote her and I said, yeah, I really, and I bought her, it was a DVD. I bought it at Walmart, of a documentary she had put together. And it was God, I can't remember where I placed it. So I saw it it was not that expensive. I actually saw it for $9, I think, or something. It wasn't, heavily expensive. On iTunes, it was okay, I'm just going to rebuy it and I'll watch it because that way it would be actually a better copy, because the ones you get from iTunes and stuff, they're high definition. Because the only way I could find her documentaries on DVD is I'd rather have Blu-ray. I want high def. I don't want just standard definition. So for me, it was a win-win situation. I'll just, I'll buy it again, and when I find it, I'll just give her, it's going to go hopefully towards her and her cause. She's basically trying to fight people who are bully kids. So that was the documentary and how she suffered through her life of being bullied, and it still affects her, I guess, to this day. And honestly, it would be somebody I really would just love to meet because she's so adorable. I would just pick her up and hug her if I could. So, yeah, she's just cute. So that to me, like I said, that's the type of girl you want to take home to mom. She's just so adorable. She's not somebody who's gonna. Oh, I can't even think of the right word, like abuse you or take advantage of you. I don't think. I would hope not. But yeah, and I was watching the documentary since I'm on that right now. I felt bad because there's parts that she actually has to be, because she can't be too physically assertive because she literally can't gain weight. So yeah, I just wish I could do more than just write like. I mean, she has some people like she lets in, they can actually write. They can write stuff on her Facebook page. I can't. So she's got it like limited. So I don't know how you become like a friend with her. Maybe she just got too many people. She can't take anybody else. So I'm trying to look at it now because I would love to like. It says if you like to know Lizzie, send her a message. And I did actually. I'll have to just rewrite her again later on. So, yeah, I think she's just adorable. I hope she listens to this. I'm going to have to, like, basically say, hey, Lizzie, listen to my show. I had to talk about you tonight. Yeah, because I didn't realize, I see pictures of these other kids with her. I didn't realize they're her sister and brother. So, she's got younger siblings. She's only like 26, and yeah, I just can't get enough of her. I think she's just adorable. I love hearing her talk too. But yeah, she's got some crazy videos up. But I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted by Lizzie now because I was just going to watch like a little bit of this tonight. Honestly, I swear to God, I was going to watch a little bit of Lizzie's documentary, and I got so intrigued by it because it was like almost an hour and a half, and I just got so caught up into watching her that I actually watched the whole thing. So I'm like getting a late start. She's actually got pictures of her mom too, I guess, and her dad. Her dad's like a decent looking guy, her parents and her kid or her siblings, and she's really cute. So, she's been all around. She's been all around the world now. You know what? If I could, honestly, if she ever came like to the Philadelphia area doing one of her lectures, I think I would have to go out of my way to make sure I just like, I hope you do a meet and greet too, because I'd really just love to meet her at this point. She's just, she seems, very inspirational for one thing. She's just like so cute too. So, and I'm not just saying that because trust me, I'm pretty vaguely honest with people or my thoughts. So I'm going to have to remember. I hope I do it because I want to have to send her, hey, Lizzie, listen to my show. I had to talk about you. I just watched your thing, and I really liked it. I really, really liked it. She's got a new picture up, too. I don't know if she just did that. Looks like she may have. Because she's it says April 27th. See, I get so easily distracted. That's me, period. So anyway, yeah, I got off on a thing, but the thing that got me upset tonight was a friend, and I guess Lizzie kind of brought that to my attention, so to speak. That I'm trying to think, like, people are just like monsters out there, and the fact that I like Lizzie, I was picked on in high school too. I was severely picked on. And when I mean monsters, like people are just so arrogant and just go out of their way just to hurt other people. Like they don't even think about it almost. I don't know. So I'm kind of saying that because like I'm thinking like the thing my friend at work said tonight, he said it to me and this other guy. We were talking about some coworker that used to work there. And this is what I mean by a person being a monster. That this person who used to work there was like a bit of a hypocrite. She doesn't work there any longer, but she gave me the hardest time. I even tried to be nice. I was even a girl yesterday. I tried to be nice. I said, hey, how are you doing? And she just ignored me. Like she looked the other way. I mean, this is people you work with who are just go out of their way just to be as pompous, like basically a pompous ass. And I don't even do anything to them. I try to be nice, but it gets turned into something it's not. And, you talk about being hurtful. That really is. Especially when I didn't do anything to deserve being treated like that. It's like, well, not everybody's going to like you, but it's not like just one or two people. It's like everyone treats me like that. And especially on the female side, they just treat me like I'm a piece of shit. And it's like, it gets old after a while. It really does. It really becomes, to me, I take very strong offense to that. I get very hurt by that. Oh, well, you got to get toughen up. It's like, you can't toughen up when people are being assholes to you. It's just a bottom fact. And when I was watching Lizzie, it's like, yeah, it broke my heart seeing her like just getting all upset about it. Like she was literally in tears. She says, I don't forget how people bullied me when I was in high school. And she was actually, when she was doing it, she was going into one of her events. Somebody was like a pompous ass and actually wrote her like right before she had to give a lecture. It's like, I don't know how she does it because I would just lose it. I would literally just flip out. So, I don't know how she composes herself because I couldn't. But somebody actually texted her and said, how do you live, or why are you still alive, or, why don't you kill yourself? And it was like, that is the most pompous thing I've ever seen. Like, I don't get direct insults unless they are online from people, or people just trying to destroy me by, like, making me go away, like that I won't be able to speak up. Like, literally destroying my YouTube page or my Facebook page. Or, my other social medias, like they literally try to take me down. And it's like and actually, now that I think of it, I said something about I had this Volkswagen Jetta. When people are such morons or such idiots that I had years ago, it was like the first Volkswagen I bought. Because I really just like the look of the car. I was like, yeah, I love to own a Volkswagen Jetta. So I got this car, and it was fun to have, but it had a major problem where whoever got rid of it, they got rid of it for a reason, and it was kind of obvious that the transmission would slip all the time. And it was really, like, nerve-wracking. It was like, okay, is this just going to, like, someday I'm going to be driving, and it's just going to give out, and I'm going to find my transmission, like, lay on the ground? So I finally, traded in on another Volkswagen Jetta, a newer one, and I never had any problems. And I held that for, like, not that long, actually. I had it for a decent amount of time, though, but I eventually got rid of it just because we had some bad weather. It's like, I love this car so much. I don't want to have it get destroyed. But before that happened, I got so mad because I went back to the car dealership I bought the car from. It was like obviously a Volkswagen dealership. And I said to him, I said, listen, there's something wrong with this transmission, and it wouldn't repeat itself for them, the dealership I went to, where the transmission literally, but there's people driving the car with me, and they felt it actually happen when they were driving. It was like, is there something wrong with your car? Because, like, literally the transmission just, like, popped while you're driving. It was like, yeah, it only does it with me or with other people, but it never, ever repeated itself. When I had people, when I had it at the dealership. So it was like kind of a waste of time. So anyway, cut to the chase, though, just to show you how people can be real assholes. I posted this video. I was like, listen, nobody's going to listen to me. I'll put up, I think that's the only thing I actually got a lot of hits from. I swear to God, I got like 70,000 hits or something like that. And every comment was something extremely, extremely negative. Like that I have no clue what I'm talking about, that I'm a total fucking asshole. Nastiest things I ever saw. And it was like, I would say that was at least, I should check. I actually don't want to do it this show because this is not what the show is going to be about. I would say about over 10,000. I'm almost curious, actually. Let's see if I can find it. YouTube. Walter Jetta sucks. And I've had other Jettas, and I loved them. Here it is. 2001, 2003 Volkswagen Jetta sucks. I made a 55-second video. I shot it in front of a high school, and this was so old. I looked so different from what I look like now, like even my hair and everything. And I uploaded it back on October 7, 2007. Let's see how many hits I got. Yeah, I got 50 and a half, 51,000 hits. And it says 65 people liked it. I think it was probably mostly me, because what happened every time somebody put something really fucking negative up about me, I try to, counteract it by me saying, "Oh, it wasn't that bad." Like you can like yourself more than once, believe it or not. Somebody's going to say you can't do that, but you can. So I did that. But everything, and now remember, I did this actually. Let's see, 2007, almost 10 years ago, and people still write in like these grease monkeys saying how much of an idiot I am. It's like, listen, I don't even fucking own that car. I've actually owned, and the car looked really nice because I had it like detailed. I cleaned it up because I'm very anal. Got like new mags put on there. I think I might have gotten an accident or something, so I had it repainted or something. The whole fucking thing repainted. It looked like a brand new car from when I originally got it. It was a beautiful car, but the transmission slipped all the time. Nobody wanted to do anything about it. Again, that was like it's 9 years ago. It's going on 10 years almost. And I still get people call me like idiot, moron, asshole. And it's like I've owned like literally 3 other cars since then. And they're just too stupid. They just love to mock me and belittle me. So I know exactly what Lizzie's talking about, how vicious people can be on Facebook and these other social media sites. So, oh, wow, this is pretty weird. I'm going to have to put this up now. This was just posted, I think, earlier yesterday or late last night. It was from a morning call. It says 17 hours ago, so I didn't see it because I was working all night. And I'm skipping all around, but it says anyone with information is being asked to call state police in Bethlehem at 610-861-2026. Bethlenem's a little bit of a distance from you. It says Whitehall woman killed in head-on crash. State police are investigating. Allentown Township. A 60-year-old Whitehall woman was killed Monday after a 2-vehicle collision on Cherryville Road in Allen Township. So you know what? Actually, speaking about that, I'm going to cut to another subject real quick. That actually almost happened to me. I was leaving the plant site tonight, my job, where I work, this job I work at. It's up in Lansdale somewhere. And I know my one friend, he kind of scared me that I was talking about earlier, and I have to finish that story about this woman who just got a better job. She got like a really high-paying job. And my friend told me about this, me and this other guy that I was working with. So anyway, he scared me tonight because I left. I deliberately wait until everybody leaves to walk out to my car because I just don't want to be bothered by people that try to go out of their way just to be, the biggest asshole they can be and just try to make me look like I'm the asshole. It's like, well, you better look in the mirror because, quite honestly, I'm not the one who's the asshole. You are, fella or woman. So I pull out, and he scares me. The friend comes up to me and say, hey, he said, hey, Walter. I was like, oh. And I was like, hey, where are you going? I was like, I'm going to my car. It's just right over here. And he says, want to ride your car? I was like, dude, that's okay. I mean, I appreciate it, but I don't mind. It was not that far to walk. So he left then, and I don't know if he was like fucking with me, because if he is, that's a different story. But I don't think he was. But I take a long way around, try to avoid the traffic lights out of our parking lot. And this person came out of no fucking where, out of our, who waited to the last second. And I hate to say it, I bet it was a woman, no offense, and literally sped trying to get, like, these sections you get out from the parking lot where we work. It's a private parking lot. They speed around so fucking fast. Like, we have a speed limit. You're only supposed to go like 15 miles an hour. They were going like 50 to try to get in front of me and try to dodge and cut me off. They almost ran into my car. So that really fucking pissed me off tonight. It's like, you talk about major assholes. This just proves the fact that what I'm saying is not made up. They literally almost ran into my car trying to get out of a parking lot. It's like there's speed bumps in our parking lot because of people like that, idiots who try to cut in front of you, even in a fucking parking lot, a private parking lot, because they're such morons. Now, if it's my friend, I apologize. I don't think it was. So I had that incident, and then I had these people, I hope we get somebody. I know they can't do everything, trust me. But I'm just hypothetically speaking, just humor me for a minute, that we get somebody in office or, who actually in even our local jurisdiction that will stop these fucking assholes who drive with their high beams on, their blacked out windows, and tailgate you. And there were so many fucking deer on people's property tonight. I had some asshole driving like right on my ass almost all the way home until not the first time, not even the second time. I would say about by the third time when they saw at least 36 deer in somebody's yard that, hey, maybe I better not drive too much like a moron because I might actually get myself killed, which I wouldn't mind. You actually would be doing me a favor, got yourself killed, because I wouldn't have to worry about you anymore being such a fucking moron. So, yeah, that just really, oh, wow. Hey, I just saw Kevin Smith, and he's going to be back down at the Trocadero, apparently. Just announced Kevin Smith and Ralph Garman bring Hollywood Babble on podcast to the live Saturday, June 11th. Troc tickets go on sale Friday, 12 p.m. So anybody who's interested, yeah, I will definitely try to get a ticket to that then, because I just saw Kevin Smith. I'll go see him again. I normally try to, see where he's at, so it would be this Friday. Tickets will go on sale for those who like Kevin Smith. I just went and seen him. I think the Trocadero I can actually get photos, too. It's just, unfortunately, it's a very small place, and I don't know if they have... I'm trying to think of the right word. I really hope that he must have something going on, because two times on the East Coast that close. I mean, one was in Philly. It's going to be in Philly, obviously. The other time it was with him in Jersey. I mean, there's something going on. He might be shooting something. That's the only thing I can think of. Or he's going to be. Oh, wait, here we go. It's about break. Look back at Yoga Hosers. So he's going to be talking about Yoga Hosers with Ralph Garman. That's coming out this June now, so I guess that's right before it comes out. So I hope he does something in Red Bank as well. So that's pretty cool. I didn't expect Kevin Smith, be back in this neck of the woods that quickly, because he's, I just saw him end of April. So anyway, I'm at work, and my friend, I don't think he realized, I'm going to keep his name. I normally say certain friends' names at work or at home, but I think it may probably be better if I don't mention his name, just not to make it as obvious, because it is obvious to the people who were in the room at the time that we were discussing it, because it was just me, a friend, and a coworker, and just like three people. So that was supposed to stay between us anyway. So I'd rather not mention his name. Just, I try to the best of my knowledge, I honestly try to protect those that I'd rather not have to mention her name. So he was talking, he said, oh, yeah, remember so-and-so, she just left work, and even the guy acknowledged, he says, yeah, she had a nice body, because this girl basically, literally, I mean, I'm sorry, but she dressed very inappropriate for work. And all the bosses loved her. Like, they basically kneeled at her feet, let her do whatever the fuck she wanted. She would actually leave work, I would say about a half an hour to 45 minutes before her shift was done if she was on overtime. Now, normally, you either work, when you work overtime, you work for, 4 hours or 8 hours. You don't make up your own shift. Say, well, actually, I'm going to stay only for 7.5 hours because I want to leave before then. It's like, no, you can't do that. But she got away with it because her dress attire, and this is no joke, until I came back, and she never did it in front of me. She actually changed her clothes. It was kind of obvious she did. But what I've heard from my one friend, I really want to post this picture of this kid that I try to stick up for, Derek. So I hope I got his name right. Derek is like the dude he's like, to me, he's like my internet friend, and he loves horror movies. So like, dude, I love you for that. He's a cool dude, but he can't. He needs a lot of help. Like his mom has to take care of him for everything because he's can't survive on his own, the poor kid. So I think it's Derek Haverland, if I said it right. So did you put more pictures of him? So I saw one from a year ago. It says, I'm afraid honestly to post his pictures on my page because I don't want to deal with people, because I know the people that are friends with his mom, because his mom basically regulates his webpage, guy Derek. I think it's Derek. I apologize if I got your name wrong. Is pretty, that the people aren't going to pick on the poor kid, and I don't want to see that happen because I hate to say it, but I think I have some people I just don't trust. I mean, I make them friends and stuff, but I mean, honestly, I got to be quite blunt, but I don't trust them that they will pick on the poor kid. And if they do it, I will rip them. I'll let you know now, I will rip them a new asshole if they pick on Derek, because that's not fair to him. The kid's a friend of mine on Facebook, and his mom takes care of him. He's like 26, I think, also 26, 27. But quite honestly, again, this is something I'm not going to deal with. I'm not going to pick on. That's why I kind of refuse, or I try to be very careful in putting his picture up on my Facebook page. It's like, Derek, I love to put up pictures, but quite honestly, I'm just letting, the mom know, or even Derek, it's like, it's not that I don't want to post your pictures. You got a lot of cool stuff. I just don't want to have somebody that, I can't stop of saying something that's really out of line, because I will definitely make it be known, like, dude, you're going to be, because I've told friends that I know in real life, I said, I respect this kid, and I know he's got some issues, but basically the bottom line is I say in a nice way, but it's like, don't fuck with him, because if you do, you're going to be answering to me too. So the best way to avoid that situation of people making a smart ass remark to him, I just kind of not, what do you call it? I try not to put his picture up on my Facebook page, because I don't know. I mean, because people just in general are unpredictable. They may act like, oh, I won't pick on so and so, because I've had it happen to me. It's like, dude, you're pushing my buttons with me on things I've told them out of personal, hoping they would have personal respect for me disclosing information. Hey, this bothers me, that bothers me. But then it becomes a joke. I become the butt of their joke for months. And it's like, dude, you're really pissing me off. I told you this is, you're disrespecting me. I told you don't make fun of me with this, that, or the other thing, or don't make fun of other things that I've mentioned to you, but you do. And they don't listen. So that's the bottom line. But I will tell them until they do listen, I don't mean to repeat myself, but listen, I told you this is being very disrespectful for me, and I told you it pisses me off, but yet you do it again and again and again. So Derek, though, I try to avoid that whole situation of like, listen, with me, I let you know that you're pissing me off, and I will let you know if I ever put up a picture of Derek that I think that they, probably won't say anything about, but if they do, I'm just saying I will go to bat for the kid. So Anyway, so I really, once again, unfortunately, I try to make this short because it's after 3. I want to get to bed at a decent time. I don't want to be up all night, and I have other things I want to talk about. Believe it or not. Oh well. Thought it said Literacy Council in Norristown joins thousands of nonprofits for the large single day. I don't know what it's about. It was in the Times Herald. So let me get back to what I was trying to say. So this friend from work, he said that, oh, yeah, that girl that used to work with us, he said, yeah, she used to wear some really wild clothes. Well, she wouldn't wear in front of me. Like I'm some type of sexist pervert. I'm not even kidding. She treated me like I'm like the lowest scum you would find, in a sewer. That's the way she treated me all the time. She treated me very disrespectfully. And when I first came to this building, I tried to be nice to her. I even tried to talk to her. But it ended up being that I did, in the bitter end before she left, so I couldn't wait for her to leave. That, you treated me like a piece of shit, and I don't know why, because I never did anything to the fucking girl. But the thing that just really, really gets me pissed off, though, is what this one friend told me today. He said, yeah, do you know what she used to wear to work? And it was like, well, she never wore it in front of me, because I always get this look from women at work. They're dressed so inappropriately. Not everyone, but certain women, and then yet they look at me like I'm some like creep who they got to watch out for. Like they got to basically, basically call 911, get a restraining order, and I don't even do any fucking thing. So what he told me, though, that again, it really just, it pissed me off. I'll tell you that much. I'm not even kidding. There's no way around it. It pissed me off. And they say, well, you don't have any reason to be pissed off. You need to kind of get a backbone, Walter. Well, she would walk. I mean, it's a double standard. It's two-faced. It's just very childish. You're talking grown adults. And this particular person, she got a really well-paying job, like probably double what she was making. So the bottom line is, he said she would walk around. I'd like to call him like spandex Daisy Dukes. Like he literally told me in very descriptive detail to me and this other guy, and he says, yeah, she really had a nice body. I heard that from every fucking guy at work. I never saw what these guys were talking about because she covered it up right away when she saw me. I see other women that do the same fucking thing when they see me. That's why the one other friend at work I had, this one woman, she says, you're not an ugly looking guy. She says, why do you keep on belittling yourself? You're going to start believing that. It's like, I believe that because that's the way I fucking get treated at work. Nothing against her because I love this woman, my other friend. But I get treated like I'm some type of sexual pervert. And it's like, okay, if you wear a workout outfit that is like something you probably would wear not even in a gym, maybe probably for your husband or for your boyfriend, it would definitely not be something I would recommend you wear to work, which is like literally, because I used to watch these bad movies, like these horror movies, and like Frankenhooker, and there was a movie it made me think when he said that she wore on these ultra tight short shorts that were made out of spandex. He called them yoga pants, but that's basically spandex. And he said that her ass cheeks, I swear to God, the friend said her ass cheeks were hanging out of the bottom. It's like, dude, I've never seen her wear like that because she basically covered up so quickly as soon as she saw me. I know we have a fitness instructor. She did the same fucking thing. It's like, so that after a while, when you see women just cover up when they see you, that gives you a really, really guilty conscience. Like, God, I must be some type of ugly-looking sexual pervert because that's the way you react to me. So anyway, and I got a comment about that. This is why I had to go off tonight. I needed just to vent. So, and it's like, I love the woman I work with that says, hey, Walter, you're not a bad-looking guy. I don't know why you keep on saying it. It was like, well, this is exactly fucking why. because it is bullshit with these women at work. They just attack, and then they act like they're victimized. That part just makes me want to go in with a. Now, don't take me seriously. I just want to go in with a gun and start shooting people. I'm not saying that seriously because you don't watch what you say anymore. But I'm serious. It's just, well, I'm not serious. I'm just saying, because when you get like pushed so tight to a wall, you know, like literally like your head is being stomped on all the time by people, you get to the point, it's like, okay, enough fucking already. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm tired of it. So basically, there was this movie years ago. I went and seen it. I remember, I don't know if I think I probably got my parents or I just went and seen it. Maybe I was old enough I could actually, you know, take myself to the movies. But it was a movie years ago called Angel. And it was about a girl who had a rough life. I swear to God, it's Angel, and it was a sequel of a different actress. But it was like, because I think it was because it was kind of exotic is why I went and seen the film. But it was like, schoolgirl by day, but hooker by night, Angel. It literally was the name of the movie, by the way. So I was like, wow, this looks pretty hot. But this is the way this fucking girl at my job dressed. And she got well respected by every fucking male there. I mean, there was one guy, I swear to God, I hate to say it, the guy acted like a puppy dog around her, this one guy. And won't give me a fucking 2 words. He won't say 2 words to me. He hung around her desk when she worked overtime, which she did an awful lot. He would eat dinner with her all the time. It's like, dude, you're making it obvious. I mean, the testosterone is just like bleeding through the whole fucking room. It's like you really just want to fuck her. I mean, obviously, because of the way she fucking dressed. And again, the supervisors let her do whatever the fucking thing she wanted to do just because of that. And you wonder why I am just so peeved by her. And why I say at my job that it's very similar to that place, Merck, where, you know, when I hear these women complain that they're being sexually assaulted, it's like, well, you think, now they say, you know, women get upset when you say, well, maybe it's because of the way you dress. And it's like, well, I hate to tell you, wearing, like, literally, like, because, by the way, in that movie Angel, I told you about the reason I brought that up. Because the girl, when she dressed like, I'm not even kidding, that was in the movie. I should look that up because that movie is so fucking old. The girl's hooker outfit that she wears, like she was hard up, you know, I guess she was a street person. I have a story to tell you about street people, too, that I saw the other day. That, you know, she was supposed to be like a goody two-shoes girl by day, but just to make a living, she was a street hooker by night. And she had on, like, the same description, at least, of the same shorts that this girl would wear to work. So do you start seeing why I get so fucking upset by this? This girl was wearing something that was in a movie about a hooker where her ass cheeks were hanging out and there were spandex pants. When she sees me, she wears these baggy pants and a baggy shirt. There was a girl years ago that the guys liked her. She would work. She was like an EMS and some other stuff. I used to thought she was pretty cool, but she was the same fucking way. She would like be like real plain and simple at work, but then one time, I swear to fucking God, she actually snuck. She went in the bathroom. She says, "Oh, I got to go to a meeting right now. I'm going to be off plant site for a little bit. I have to go to a meeting for. I'm supposed to meet up with some people that are EMSs at a local place." She went in the bathroom and she covered up really quick. She had on this. She had really big breasts too, and I still remember this. She saw me and she covered up real quick. She had on a skin tight spandex top where her tits were like literally almost like popping out of her top. And then she had in these jeans that were so fucking tight that I don't even know how she walked out of the building. They were so fucking tight. I mean, she literally did look like a street hooker. And it was not too long after that she did meet some guy, which was no shock, and she had a kid. And it was like, well, if you dress like that, I mean, you're like basically saying you're wearing a sign across your chest that says, fuck me. Because she quickly changed. When she came back from this meeting, she quickly changed. She took off the skin-tight jeans, and she also had taken off this top that literally she was like the thing. If she would have like sneezed, it would have popped off. Now, I know one coworker that I work with again. She didn't like this particular person at all, and I can kind of tell why. And in some ways, I could not only tell why, how can I say this? I could agree with her. I could agree with the girl that this girl I work with again that she disliked this particular girl who dressed like, she acted like Miss Goody Two Shoes, but she basically was probably kind of like trampy. I mean, no offense, but she was a nice girl, but she was very trampy. And this girl at work who left for a better job was the same fucking exact way. It was so fucking obvious. I'm sorry, I'm looking for that movie called Angel, because I know it was called that, but it was so fucking long ago. 1984. Yeah, here it is. It came right up. So that movie, I went and seen that back in 1984, and there was a sequel that was god-awful fucking bad. But I saw that movie because you look at the poster, and yeah, the girl has on exactly what I'm telling you. She was like a high school goody two-shoes girl during the day, and it says, high school girl, honor student by day. This was for this movie Angel from 1984. Hollywood hooker by night and it was called Angel. I was exactly right. I remember this fucking movie. Well, this is what this girl who left, this woman who got a better job. She was a very attractive girl, but this, the shorts that the girl's wearing in this movie Angel was pretty much the description of the way this girl at my job that no longer works there had dressed for her job. So I told this one person, I said, there's a building adjoining to us. I said to my friend, I said, Matt, I got you on that one. There's a couple Matts I know. I have more than one friend. So, but I told my friend, by the way, because I have something my friend Matt Tarns called. That's why I said that too, by the way, because he's all upset that Trump had won, I think. Not upset, but he's not happy. So I wanted to talk about that too, by the way. So anyway, yeah, this thing, I said to my one friend at work, by the way, and I'll get, later on, maybe I'll get in the story about Matt, because I actually wanted to talk about that too. Not about Matt, but I mean about the whole thing with Trump, because he won tonight. And what do you call it, dropped out, Ted Cruz. So I said to the friend, and it was in our cafeteria room or whatever, I said, if you go up this hallway here from where we work in this other building, it's a connection to another building, you will see women in there, like more than one. They all wear lycra spandex. It's so fucking tight. When they see me, they run in the ladies' room. But it's like, they're dressed like fucking street hookers. I'm sorry. So that's why when I heard this story about this company, Merck, making this lawsuit for $250 million, it just really threw me through the roof. And the other day, and now this threw me through the roof with this friend at work, because he was saying, yeah, she used to wear lycra spandex all fucking day, and every boss, basically just bend over backwards for her. Let her do whatever the fuck she wanted to do. Hey, I want to work 80 hours this week, but I'm not going to actually do any work. I'm just going to sit there and show you my ass and show you the rest of my assets of my body. Oh, go right ahead. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. We don't give a fuck. And if I do something wrong, I'm never going to hear the fucking end of it. So that really just, when he said, oh, well, to top it off, she wore shorts that were he said, quote unquote, yoga shorts. Yoga, and there is no such thing. They're spandex shorts, like the shorts. And he said her ass cheeks were hanging out of the bottom. It's like, dude, she never showed that shit to me. And it was like, oh, you're upset because you didn't get to see it. No, she was being a smartass. Like, I'm the person who's the creep. It's like you're the ones walking around trying to find out how many guys you can fucking fuck. And then you take it out on me. I mean, no offense. That's the pot calling the kettle black. I'm the person who has not been in a relationship for over 35 years. You're a fucking cunt who basically sleeps with anything that will spread their legs. You spread your legs for anything that walks your way. Hypocrite. I'm just trying to make that clear, by the way. Sorry if I actually get... maybe I better not tell her now. Because that's why I put her on a pedestal. Lizzie when I was talking about her earlier. Maybe no, I'm not. You know what? At this point, I'm not going to send it to Lizzie because I'm afraid if I do, she's going to hear this part too and say, "God, this guy's wacko." Which I will neither confirm or deny at this time, Senator. Hey, here's something pretty cool. I'm just looking because this is what like made me want to do a podcast tonight too. By the way, oh, I hope it didn't go away. It says, oh no, it did. Shit. It was from the Times Herald. There was like a comic book event actually around my neck of the woods in Norristown, and now it went away. I don't know how. I'm looking through all of them. Yep, yeah, it did. It went away. That's kind of weird. I've never had that happen. So anyway, here, I'm talking about Lansdale. I'm talking about all this stuff. And you want to hear more shit because, women are all victimized. What do I read today when I got up at like 1 in the afternoon? I see this story and it says Upper Dublin high school teacher charged with situational sexual assault. So I have a mugshot of this woman. And I hate to say it, no offense to this lady, but she is pretty fugly. It says Upper Dublin high school English teacher accused of having inappropriate contact with a student at a high school. It was a sexual relationship. Was arrested on Monday, according to Upper Dublin police. She was from Lansdale. Rose M. Lee Moley, 39, I think that's the way you say it, of 1500 block of North Line Street, Lansdale, was charged with 12 third-degree felony counts of institutional sexual assault for her alleged sexual relationship with an 18-year-old male. Now, I read this earlier from a different source, and they said she waited till the kid turned 18 to have a sexual relationship. Now, get this, though, because I don't want to go through this whole fucking thing again. I read it earlier today. They said that she gave the kid, like, money and gifts all the fucking time. She waited till he turned 18, thinking that, okay, once he turns 18, I can have a sexual relationship with this kid. But she gave him up to, it looked like, the one article I read earlier this afternoon, she gave this kid over $1,000 in, like, cash and also in gifts. So it's like, no wonder why this kid probably figured, and I don't know what the kid looked like, but I'm assuming this kid's like, wow, all I have to do is sleep with this woman and amuse her, and she's giving me all this fucking money. It's like, and plus all these free gifts, like really expensive things. So the reason I picked on her look, though, I'm not trying to do it just to be a smart ass to her. I'm not trying to be one of these dicks. But I'm just telling you, most women who the guys say, oh, why didn't I ever have a teacher like that, are when these girls look like they're really, really fucking hot. Doesn't matter if they have kids or, married. I know about this woman. I don't even know if she was married. I don't think she was. I don't know. But she's just plain not attractive. So, I hate to say it, but she's fucked. This lady is like, no other way to put it, she's fucked. Because the fact that she is not attractive and that she was having a sexual relationship and she did wait till the kid turned 18, she's like going to get nailed to the she's going to get nailed to the cross. They're not going to give her any breaks. They're going to basically, make sure she goes to jail and everything else just because she's not good looking. So that there, folks, is a double standard. And I feel bad in some way because the way they're prosecuting her, they should be doing the same thing for these other women, but they do not. Yeah, I'm reading this one part here in this article in the Times Herald. It says, the two exchanged over 262 phone calls between November of 2015 and April 17th of 2016. So this was going on for a very long time. And she's getting held on a hefty bail. You never heard about this for these other women because they're too hot. And I'm not saying that these women are hot, they should be able to get away with it. No, I think the exact opposite. What you're giving to this woman should be the exact same penalty you should be giving to these other women. I don't care what the fuck they look like. It says she was arraigned before a district judge, Patricia Zarafino, or something like that, and released on $50,000 unsecured bail with conditions including that she has no contact with the victim or other students. The preliminary hearing was scheduled for May 16th, which is, 2 weeks away or something. So they nail her to the cross, literally, this woman, because she's not attractive. If it was a hot-looking woman, she would have basically gotten, like, maybe $1,500 bail. I mean, bail set at $1,500. There was that one chick, she had high bail for sexually assaulting an infant or a child, and she got off on only having to pay 10% of whatever it was, so she ended up only paying, like, a small, measly amount. But I'm just telling you, when you're not, if you're an unattractive woman, you're fucked. You really are. So I say, the way they're prosecuting this woman, by the way, they should be doing it to other women the same exact way. Looks should not have, the determining factor. Well, okay, this woman's so fucking hot. We're going to let her go. I mean, that's bullshit. That really pissed me off. And this whole thing with that girl leaving just made my blood boil so much. I just really was ready to flip out. I had to walk out of the room. Not right away, but I literally had to walk out because I was so angry. So just to let you know, and I'm going to keep this one up because some douchebag, if they write something nasty about my friend from Facebook, God, it's Debbie Haverland's son. You will hear from me personally, trust me. Because I will track the nigger, never mind. I will track the asshole down that says anything about that particular person. Because, is it Derek? I forget. I think it's Derek. So, Derek, yeah. Don't pick on the dude. The dude is a really cool guy. He's like a friend of mine, so don't fuck with him. I'm just letting you know right now. Yeah, Derek's he's a cool dude. So, and I always try to look every night to see if his mom puts anything else up for him. I got two other friends it says that are friends of Derek's. I don't know who they are. So I try to encourage people, add Derek, because the dude needs friends. There's other people that have the same situation Derek has, and I find it cool if they can add him. Just to it kind of, you're not only supporting Derek, but I think his mother. It's a heavy burden on the mom too. That it's not even just taking care of Derek, but here's another kid who's got a poor problem too. But you know what, Jessica Franklin, her poor son has a problem too. Not as bad as Derek's, but my heart goes out for people like this. And I just don't like people picking on people that are misfortunate, especially these kids that they're going to be needed to. My heart goes out to them, honestly, because I'm afraid what is going to happen when something happens to their parents or their loved ones. So. And by the way, I guess I take, because I was picked on really heavily. I still get mistreated even now in today's times. But I'm like, I was thinking about something else when I was watching that thing with Lizzie. There was a mom she met up with about anti-bullying. They actually made it to D.C., about stopping bullying, anti-bullying. This mom lost her daughter back, I would say about, God, it's hard to believe, but I think it's at least 10 years ago, maybe 20 years ago, because this girl because it was when MySpace was still big, and MySpace is pretty much, it's there, but it's pretty much dead because Facebook replaced MySpace. And this woman, I was actually crying almost watching this. But this woman lost her daughter because her daughter so badly just wanted to have a Facebook page. She, because Facebook was, new at the time. It was when Facebook first came around. And the daughter asked, hey, Mom, can I have a Facebook page? Because the daughter, apparently, she was kind of big for her age. She was, like, really tall. And, some girls, like, faster than boys do. It's just a fact. So the girl was always picked on in high school for being too tall, too big, and everything like that. So she finally met some guy. And I always don't trust that stuff. I don't believe in that stuff. But these internet boyfriends that girls find, or guys probably do it, but you hear more about girls. So this girl met up with some guy. She thought it was like serious relationship with this guy. And for some reason, this guy, one day, her internet boyfriend, like she never really met the guy, but she had an internet boyfriend, this girl, of this mom, that it was on this Lizzie's documentary. This boy, for no reason at all, just started attacking her and say, you're never going to have anybody. You're just fugly, and I don't know why you think you're even attractive. So the mom, she kind of tried to keep an eye on what her daughter was doing online. And when she saw that, she quickly went into her daughter's room to see how her daughter was reacting to this boy, like literally. And apparently it said that two other people, two girls, started attacking this poor girl too. She was only like, I think, 16 years old. So, the sad point is, though, this girl, by the time the mom got into the girl's room, the girl had already hung herself in her closet or something like. She literally hung herself. So it was like, it just broke my heart to see that. I mean, I've gotten close. I mean, I've had to suffer through a life of just being picked on and humiliated for years. And it's definitely done damage to my my way I look at people and the way I trust people, or the way I even talk about people. Because, I was really, really beyond harassed in high school. I mean, it was horrible. So I finally don't trust people. I really just don't trust people. I found that it's difficult to trust anybody. And I keep my distance from anybody. That's why I don't really deal well, or why I don't probably have a relationship, because I can't trust women either, because all they ever do is just are viciously hateful towards me. And that reminds me, I have a story on that I wanted to mention. I was thinking about it tonight. I was like, okay, I got to talk about this. So anyway, when I was watching this story where this girl like literally hung herself, this little young girl, she was only 16, because some guy, wanted to be cool. So he gets these himself and two other girls on MySpace to say how ugly this girl is and how she shouldn't even live anymore. I don't know why you ever think you're ever going to have a relationship with any guy. And the girl hangs herself. So again, that tears me apart when I read stuff like that. It really fucking tears me apart. So, and that was on this documentary Lizzie had. Was a separate one they put on there. So people don't realize that they're even their nonverbal communications of treating somebody like a piece of shit does have effect on somebody, or just playing games like that. But it was funny. It makes me think also with these women that the job I work, how they dress inappropriately and then act like I'm some sick fuck. Really just gets to me every single time. And it just goes back to when I was in high school and I got not non-verbally abused, but verbally abused on a daily basis, like every fucking day. And there was times, by the way, because I remember Lizzie saying that she was upset when she was in high school that I literally did not make it out of the house because I have extremely bad OCD. And yeah, a lot of that does come from the way I was harassed so badly. I have severe OCD till this day, not as bad as I used to have it. I have it under control. But it got so bad, there was many times that it got so bad. Not only did I get hospitalized, mental state hospitals, but there was times that I could not go to school. So what ended up happening, one of my teachers actually told my parents, she says, don't worry, I'm not going to charge you for it, but I can homeschool your son, take the homework home to your son, because I was afraid to go to school. I was just at a mess. And she did. It was one of my teachers for, I was in the special ed classes. And, yeah, she actually would teach me at home. She actually brought my homework home to me at home. So it's pretty weird. Some girls actually has a spider coming out of her mouth. Like, that's pretty disgusting. It's a real spider, too. It's not made up. It's for real. Yeah, there's some pictures, by the way. I was mentioned earlier about, it says all survive Allentown head-on crash that hurt 3, 1 critically. I thought one woman got killed. This might be a different one. 7 hours ago. Yeah, there's another story where there's a real severe car accident. And that's the thing, too. I come home because I'm coming home from a job. I'm not coming home from getting drunk or getting laid. I'm coming home from a fucking job. And I got to worry about getting killed from some asshole on the fucking road. But, yeah, what was I going to mention about on this situation? Give me a second. Make sure I'm still recording. Okay, yeah, I am. I just had a double check. God, that's so loud. What's my level at? Actually, that's weird. It just seems like it's awfully loud the way my level's recorded. So, anyway, I remember this. Oh, wow, this is pretty funny. I'll probably get in trouble for this, even though I'm actually, let's see, some animal, I don't know if it's a boar or something, is screwing another animal and their penis comes out. So it's kind of funny looking, but I'm sure I'll get in trouble for it. So there's this girl. I remember, I don't even think it matters anymore because I haven't talked to her in years, and she was very nasty to me. But I still remember her name. Her name was Jenna Drulek. And this was the one I asked my friend Trevor, can you ask her out? Because I really, for some reason, I just had a big fucking crush on her. She had a really bad acne on her face and some other things. And it was like, I don't know why. I just thought she was really cool. She seemed like so quiet and so timid. And she worked at this place, Kmart, years ago. And she worked in the layaway department. So my mom always had layaways. And I saw her one time. I was like, yeah, I really like to ask out this girl. She had extremely bad acne, though, which I really didn't give a fuck. She had bad acne. And it was just something about her. She seemed really cute. So I was like, okay, well, she seems really cute, though. And I just really, I'm too embarrassed to ask her out. It's like, because I hate rejection. So my friend Trevor asked her out, and I told this story before, and he saw her and was like, he turned away like he was like ready to vomit. He's like, you really want me to ask this girl? Are you sure this is the girl you want me to ask out? Because he actually went in there, and he says, yeah, I really wouldn't mind going out with her. I thought she was cute looking, everything like that. So he asked her out for me, and he says, well, Walter really likes you. He's too embarrassed to ask her out for his own. And she thought it was cute. I thought she'd be like, a down-to-earth person. She was the biggest fucking monster in the world. She was really arrogant, very mouthy, really, really mouthy. I mean, she was belittling to no end to me. She literally tore me apart all the time. And she was into karate. So it got to the point I had to get my friend Matt to get some of my stuff back over. And then she called me, you're a fucking loser. It's like, you can't even go to the door yourself. It's like, why am I going to go to a door where you're just constantly ripping me apart and insult me and belittle me? I don't want anyone I just want to stay as far away from you as possible. So she even insulted my friend Matt. It's like, yeah, and he even said, yeah, she was not a very nice person. It was like, I don't know what her problem was. And he also commented on her appearance. Like, dude, I did not ask her out for her appearance. I asked her out because I did think she was cute, though. But at the same time, I didn't think she was going to be such a fucking asshole. So we had like an off and on for a very short period of time relationship. So she said one time, she said, quote unquote, because we stopped talking for a little bit because I got really upset with her. This wasn't the time that I asked my friend Matt to get my stuff back off for her. But I said to her, no, we're something that we had a fallout, like from her insult me constantly and belittle me, that it was like, okay, you know what? you know, I forget what I was going to, it was like, it was off for like a short, brief period of time. It was like, but I still liked her, I guess, because I just couldn't deal with her shenanigans. And the thing that really upset me with her was she insulted a friend of hers, that she treated the friend behind her back like a piece of shit. Now, the friend thought I was a creep, though, because I was, like, defending this friend. So there's, like, sometimes you can't win. You just can't win with fucking people. Because this one girl, one friend of hers, she was a cute girl, younger girl than her, but actually I think she was older than her. But she treated this one friend of hers like total dog shit, like literally like dog shit, and was like, that's not cool. That is not fucking cool. Treating your friends like shit. So I didn't like it at all. And I was like, you know what? At one point, I actually almost wanted to date her friend, because not just to be one of these guys, okay, like, because I know girls that did this will do this, because years ago, I think I was a friend or I've seen stuff like that where a girl will date one brother and then date the other brother and, play shit like that. Like they go down the line and date every sibling in the family. So, I'm not that type of person. I was like, okay, I'm going to date you first, and I'm going to date your friend, I'm going to date your sister, for these girls. I don't do that kind of shit. But it's just the friend was a little bit better than this girl, Jenna Drulek. And she treated her friend, she literally said, oh, I treat this girl that was supposed to be your friend like shit just because I can fucking do it. And it's like, you don't treat people like that. She was a real asshole. No doubt about it. She was an asshole, this Jenna Drulek girl. So, and if it wasn't, friends like I had then, and like my friend Matt and my friend Trevor, they're the ones who helped me out, like actually ask a girl out or even basically get my stuff back from the girl that I had asked one friend to ask out. I asked her out for me. The other friend helped me get my stuff back. So, these were friends that, they want above. And, of course, I've had other friends, like my friend Linda, which I had her get me a fake vagina, one of those, for guys, one of those sex vaginas, basically you masturbate with them. I had her do that, go into Adult World up in Montgomeryville to get me one of those. I mean, I'm a real dog to my friends. I'll admit to that. But, yeah, I think I do, I take their friendships a little bit beyond what they really are asked to do as being a friend. So, I mean, there's other friends I probably did things just as nasty to. Ask them to do things that are just above and beyond what a friend should ask a friend to do. So anyway, Jenna, though, when I dated her, it was broke off for a little bit. She said, oh, when we were broken up, I decided she was like a karate. She was into karate. Like she did karate. This thing called Kempo Karate. I'm really starting to like that girl who plays Daisy Ridley. She's a British girl. I just always thought she was extremely too skinny, but she's really cute. But that's a different story. I don't need to go into Daisy. She is cute, though. God, I'm trying to think what I was going to say. This girl, Jenna Drulek, we broke up for a short period of time, and she said, oh, by the way, when I thought we were broken up, I had sex with my karate instructor. And she said it didn't mean anything, though. It's like you fucking had sex with some guy just because you were pissed at me. I mean, she was ruthless. And then she treated her not her best friend, but it was a friend of hers who the friend thought I was a total jackass then. It was like, I'm trying to be nice to you, and now you're taking it on me, and you want to be treated like a piece of shit, though, by some girl who literally treats you like you're a piece of dirt, like you're lower than a piece of garbage scum. So all the way around, I just don't trust women for that fact. You try to help somebody who's a girl who's being treated like shit, you're the asshole, and then you got the girls who basically treat you like a piece of shit for no reason at all. They just feel like they do. Now, if you are a total asshole, a total scumbucket, to a woman, you're like the greatest fucking thing in the world. So I just can't win because I'm not that type of person. But when you fuck with me, then that's a different story. And not in the good way we're using that word, fuck with me, trust me. So, yeah, that whole thing just, I just have many stories because I really never dated any girl. And it was only a brief, literally, probably 2 years max that I actually dated somewhere between the age of 21 and 22 that I actually dated any girls. And then it just like, never again. Never fucking again. So, yeah, I'm trying to think if there was any other times in my life. Maybe. No, I think that's about it. 21, 22 was about like my peak. And it was funny. I lived in an apartment for years. And I never, well, actually, wait a minute. I had a little bit of a whim there going on. Different girls. I remember one woman. I was in this Horsham clinic. And I was in this outpatient program called, God, what's it called? Project Transition. It took me a minute to figure it out. Project Transition. And I remember there was like this one girl. She was kind of cute. I mean, what I call cute is not everybody's. So trust me, when I say a girl's cute, they're cute in my eyes, but maybe not in everybody else's eyes. Because people might see these women or these girls and say, well, what are you talking about? There was one girl that I think across the board, people would say she was like really hot. And it was like, why are you talking to me? Because like, I'm not even in the same league as the guys you would be asking out. So why the fuck are you why are you even talking to me? It was because I basically, looked at her and I thought she was like really hot. And it was like somebody put a light on me, like one of those like those lights you get when the cops question you about things, and they put you like to basically put a heat lamp on you to try to get you to confess. And it was this girl that I dated for a very short period of time. Her name was Tammy Hargrove. And she did have on a halter top. She was really, really hot. And she had on these Ocean Pacific. This was back in the 80s, by the way. So that's when Ocean Pacific was like the shit. Like it used to be like when you see these other things, surf companies, they make those board shorts that look really awesome, like the board shorts you get. I think Hollister might maybe have those. There's those. I'm trying to think of the brands that are like real surf brands, like the real surfboard, whether that Velcro and that special material used. They're called board shorts. Well, I hate to tell you, but Ocean Pacific was the one who started that, and then they basically went bankrupt or something. Or disappeared. They definitely got bought out by Walmart, but it was a while. It was back in the 80s. It lasted a very short period of time. So anyway, she had these board shorts on from Ocean Pacific. I've said this story before, but she was so fucking hot that I literally was like, wow, she's like, I'm going to be going home tonight to take care of business. Not even thinking. And it was like somebody put me under questioning, literally under questioning. And what I did, what was my Achilles heel with her, was not only like, I said, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? It was like, I've never done that. And I never did that again. It was like, she was so fucking hot. This was when I was like 21. She was 22. So, I'm 49 now. I'm pushing 50. So that was like, 30 years ago. God. And I just like stared at her fucking tits. She had on this halter top, like a bathing suit top, though. Not a halter top, but a bathing suit type top. And I was staring at her fucking tits. I got her to sit down and listen to me. And I basically told her my whole life story of all of the problems I had growing up and being, basically, abused, harassed, and shit like that. And I had myself in tears because it was like, it's like one of those jokes. Like I was staring at her tits and like, you're like that joke. Oh, you're like saying, "Mommy," because like I was literally like dumbfounded by her body and her looks. Her face was incredible. So I told her my whole life story, and then not like the next day, she was so intrigued, which normally that does not happen. So intrigued by me just opening up to her, so honesty. She said she had a big crush on me because I guess she was not used to people being, honest with her. Now, it was weird because I wasn't trying to pick her up, so to speak, but I was just like, I still don't know how to talk to girls. But it was like, oh my God, she is so fucking incredibly hot. I've never asked out a girl. I never had luck with girls. I still don't have luck with girls. But it was like, oh my God, it was like I died and went to heaven when I was looking at her. And the next thing I knew was she was like, oh, I have a crush on you. And she wanted to like basically go out with me. It was like, wow, that lasted not that long, trust me. But that was like when I'm not even kidding, when she asked me like she had a crush on me, I literally looked around and said, "Are like, was there somebody behind me? Are you talking to me? Because you're definitely not talking to me because I'm not the person that anybody ever asks out." But she did. She like literally pretty much asked me out and said that she had a big crush on me, a big crush on me. But again, that did not last that long. That was like a very short-lived thing. And it broke my heart because, you got the hottest looking girl in that I would ever imagine. I mean, everything after that was just like less than her, literally less than her. So I never, never was able, it was like basically it was somebody I should have never even had a chance with. But I don't know how, me with my big mouth, basically, same one I have now that I get myself in trouble with and get kicked off of websites and out of school. Same mouth there. So I got to send this to my friend Todd. There's a picture of it. Literally, he says he has one at his house, where his parents' house is an albino squirrel. Somebody actually put up a picture of an actual albino squirrel, a white squirrel. I've never seen any fucking thing like that, so I'm amazed. I'm going to try to ask it out. Maybe I can have sex with that. Seriously, though. Oh, God, this is funny. It's what I was complaining about. Start impeachment now. There are many things we love about rifles. Usually, reconcile is not one. However, today, we make an exception and celebrate the wonders of this equal and opposite reaction. Mere yoga pants are no match for a recoil of this magnitude. Ooh la la. It's a chick in spandex pants on her belly so you see her ass shooting a rifle. I swear to fucking God. So I'm going to have to save that fucking picture. I can't believe that. But yeah, I've had some I've had like the shittiest luck with women, obviously. And the most obnoxious ones. So I have a very, I just have a mistrust with guys as well, because they were the ones who would harass me. And I said this was the truth, actually. I got harassed and bullied not only by, and this is like usually like, you got to be kidding. You were that much of a wimp, but it's the absolute fucking truth. I got harassed and bullied not only by guys, but also by girls. And when I was in high school. And how's that going to leave me with any like trust with anyone at all? It doesn't. I had no trust for anyone just because of that bullshit. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm sorry, I've seen this thing. This girl was extremely fat, and she lost all this weight. She lost her boyfriend because she was really fat. And it says, the woman got the best revenge on her boyfriend who wanted her to stay fat. She lost all this weight, and she looks like really, really hot. So, it's pretty funny. It's on this thing. I don't even know. I'll probably put it up. I don't know. Funny, awesome video, something, but it's like actually stories and pictures of how she used to look and what she looks like now. So, yeah, so I mean this stuff, and then when I read that with my friend tonight from work, this really upset me. He didn't do it intentionally. It's just, dude, it upsets me with this bullshit with these people, like these, especially the women that act like they're victimized. I have no respect for anybody who is disrespectful to others, and I definitely fucking have no respect for anybody who's disrespectful to me. Yeah. So, anyway, I was mentioning about my friend Matt earlier. He actually called me tonight. He said, well, Walter, basically I was right. It's like, dude, or something. Maybe he didn't say I was right, but he was just basically, well, I guess I'm going to have to vote for Trump if I'm going to vote Republican, because now that Ted Cruz officially, that was the thing. Earlier tonight, Ted Cruz did drop out of the race when he lost just last night's, I don't want to say caucus. I don't know what it is. Let's see. John, the other guy, I can't pronounce his name, announced after Ted Cruz drops out and clears path for Donald Trump. So Ted Cruz has moved aside officially, and now it's just basically we have all that's left is Donald Trump. He's going to be running for the Republican Party. So this is going to be interesting, by the way, because they say when this happens, there could be a possibility where the Republicans now will try to, because they hated Ted Cruz, but they also really hates Trump with a passion. I think they hate Trump more than they hated Ted Cruz, but they didn't want either one to run. So the fact that this is all we have left now, they were saying that they might try to. They were saying this a while back. I mean, and I kind of felt that people just finally got fed up with, the whole, like, okay, we're going to pick I'm trying to think. We're sick of, like, the Republican Party. We're definitely sick of the Democrat Party. We're sick of both sides. So I knew it was going to be probably Trump because, again, people have had enough of all the fucking bullshit, with the whole politics thing. That is the only reason, and that was my whole point of why I picked Donald Trump, and I did vote for Donald Trump, not too long ago. Because I'm just so fucking sick of all the politics myself. It's just the bottom line. So I figure, you know what? I'm going to vote for Ted Cruz. I mean, Ted Cruz. Yeah, I love Ted Cruz. I would have rather had Ted Cruz, but I'll take Donald Trump. And today he actually did scare me, Donald Trump, but after I heard this afternoon before this thing tonight on something Rush Limbaugh said. He was saying that, Ted Cruz was attacking Ted Cruz. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm getting really confused because it's like after 4 o'clock, and I really am not going to go to bed before 6 now. Donald Trump actually said, Donald Trump. Here I go again. See how tired I am? Rush Limbaugh said that Donald Trump was saying about Ted Cruz that Ted Cruz's father. I really got to cut this short because I'm falling asleep. Donald Trump was saying that Ted Cruz's father was who was that who killed JFK? Let me see. Because I couldn't remember earlier. Ted Cruz's dad did not kill JFK. But they were trying to accuse, but who was it who killed? They're making this big deal. This was Donald Trump bad-mouthing Ted Cruz. Donald Trump was saying that Ted Cruz's, Lee Harvey Oswald, they were trying to insinuate that, well, at least Donald Trump was. He was insinuating that Ted Cruz's dad was friends with Lee Harvey Oswald's father. I mean, wait. Let me get this out straight. I'm not doing a very good job because I'm just so fucking tired. Donald Trump was saying, according to Rush Limbaugh, that Donald Trump said, "Oh, well, his dad, Ted Cruz's dad, was friends with Lee Harvey Oswald right before he killed JFK." I mean, he was really just making up bullshit stories, not Rush, but Donald Trump. And it's like, dude, that's pretty, like, really low. That's beyond low. That's just really uncalled for. So, but he was doing shit like that. And it's like, dude, you're just attacking everyone. You're just, like, ripping people apart for no reason at all, and it makes no sense anymore. So that really scared me. I was like, God, now I'm really thinking that I hope Ted Cruz gets it. But to be quite honest with you, and this is what I meant when I was mentioning Matt's name earlier, and it was in the back of my mind, and Matt's name came out, my friend Matt Torrance, because he's like, well, I hope I'm wrong in that, I think, Matt's thinking this, that maybe Trump might do a good job. But, because that's his only choice right now. It's my only choice if I want to vote for a Republican. I know it pissed off a lot of fucking people, which I don't mind. I love getting people pissed off in that factor. Because now it's going to come down to, unfortunately, Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. The unfortunate part is Hillary Clinton. Now, I think Donald Trump is just trying to prove a point. It's like, listen, you got to play just as dirty as the Democrats have done in the past. Because when we had Mitt Romney running against Obama, you see what Obama did. He sporadically, when it was him and Mitt Romney running for, Obama running for re-election, and running for election, or to be elected. I'm trying to think. Mitt Romney, Obama just like ripped into Mitt Romney at that time and literally said things that I thought would never fucking get him reelected. Because he was saying some really fucking nasty things. He was acting like a child. Obama was. And it was like, this guy is just really out of line when they were doing the debate between him and Ted Cruz. Well, guess what? It didn't get him elected, and it got Obama, by acting like such a fucking asshole, it got him re-elected for a second term. So the bottom line is, I think that's the tactic. If I'm looking at it correctly, I don't know, but I think that's the same tactic that it's using right now. Donald Trump, he learned from Ted Cruz not sticking up for himself, not being the guy who's going to be a total asshole. Listen, maybe I if I want to get elected, the only way I want to get elected is by being the person that everyone fucking hates. So, and you know what? There's a point there that, yeah, that's true. That is absolutely true. So that might be what he's doing. I hope I'm right on that. I could be wrong. And I hope it's not true that, that because he in the past, that's the truth, though, that Donald Trump actually did support a lot of these Democrats, even the Clintons. So I hope he's not trying to make, because at this point, we're going to be really fucked. If he did all this stuff with the hopes at the very end that, hey, I'll just step aside and let Hillary take over, we're going to be beyond fucked. And if he gets in and, doesn't keep up with his promises of certain things, which he has changed his word in many a times. Now, he may be doing that, like, oh, I'm not going to build, we're going to build a wall and charge it to Mexico and deport all the illegal immigrants and make sure that no more get in. And then he changes that. He waffles the story to, I'm not going to build a wall. What are you talking about? I'm not going to build a wall. And, we're going to keep him out for a short period of time, but then we're going to let him come back in, but legally, though. Uses the word legally. So, the man just waffles right now, but I am hoping this is all part of his, diabolical plan or whatever you want to call it, that he has more up his sleeve and he is going to make some serious changes. Because personally, I think Ted Cruz would, if Ted Cruz would have gotten elected as president, I think he would have made a difference. He would have definitely did something to make a fucking difference. He wouldn't have just said it. He would have definitely, he would have pissed off a lot of fucking people and on the Democratic side, but he would have tried to he would have done something to make a difference, and he would have probably pissed off a lot of these liberal left people. That's just, that's just a fact. But unfortunately, seeing what happened, that I thought Mitt Romney would have made an excellent president. I mean, the man seemed like he looked like he had his, and I think he did. I think he does, minus what he said about Trump that time, which was just a little off the wall. But I personally think he would have made an excellent president, but it did not happen. So, but I'm afraid that Ted Cruz, when it came fighting against Hillary, he would have not been strong enough to, it would have been in his nature to just be a total asshole. I mean, he tried yesterday, he tried to do that, I guess. He tried to be the guy that nobody likes. They even try to encourage people, Ted Cruz is hated by so many people, given people that look like, well, Ted Cruz is like, he's, not by him not being liked, that he's the tough guy that we're looking for. But I guess he didn't dig deep enough into the sewer to win the election, because that's basically what you have to do if you want to get elected now. You got to dig. You got to be basically down with the scum. You got to act like a total asshole, a total piece of shit. And apparently people respect that more than somebody who is going to, be honest and probably, not play dirty pool and not act like a scumbucket. But unfortunately, you wouldn't get elected. And I guess, I hate to say it, but Obama did prove that's the way you got to be if you want to get elected, because that's kind of what he did. It worked very effectively. He kind of got me off guard, because I watched when he was going for re-election against, I'm trying to think, against Mitt Romney. And yeah, he did some things that I thought were just like, there's no fucking way anyone's going to vote for this asshole, because just the way he was talking like such an ass. But what happened was he did get reelected, because people do like that. So again, this is why I'm bringing all this up, by the way. My friend Matt basically said, I think people are falling into the same, and he's right. I'm not going to deny it. Matt, you're absolutely 100% right, that people are falling in the same they're falling in the same trap as they did with Obama, with Donald Trump. Now, this could be either in our favor, or it could be a total, like, okay, we're going to get another, 4 years or 8 years, whatever it may be. If he gets reelected, it would be 8, but 4 years maybe of Donald Trump just basically being a major, major disappointment. I hope not. But, he's going the same tactic, which worked. It's working for Donald Trump, is the same tactic that Obama used for 2 terms. He was somebody new. He was somebody that nobody knew about. Now, Trump's not a young person, but he is a big celebrity, so to speak. So people are looking at that. They're starstruck. And they were starstruck, believe it or not, with Obama. And he feels deep down inside, which honestly I agree with him 100%. If Matt, if that's what you're thinking, that people are looking at Trump with the same eyes they had, that glary eye look as they had for back in the day with Donald Trump. With Obama right now. So again, this could be a serious problem. This could be a real serious problem if he doesn't turn out to be the guy that I thought he was. So I'm just hoping it is that we're not making the mistake that we did with. I felt that we made for the last 8 years, because everybody's complaining about it now, but the last 8 years with Obama. Because once he's out, he can't get reelected. He's done with it. We're done with him. We're never going to have another President Obama unless his daughters run for president when they get old enough. Well, hopefully, kids are usually a lot different. If that would be the case, the kids usually are completely different from the parents anyway. So that could actually be better. Anyway, yeah. So Matt, if you listen to me, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm actually kind of a little scared of Trump in some ways after what I heard today on the way he was attacking Ted Cruz. But in another sense of the word, this might be in our favor because we need somebody like that just to get in office and put the R back into at least. Not that it means a lot, because he's not going to be able to do too much anyway. My friend Matt said that. There's only so much the president can do. He can veto a lot of things if he doesn't approve with it. So that you got to take that in consideration too. I just hope that he really continues, if he gets elected, he continues to act like a Republican and not like a Democrat. Because we've had 8 years of a Democrat. So, and unfortunately, the Democrats would love that. It's like, because they still get things for free, handed out to them and on a silver platter. But I personally can't deal with that. Because, we need to, rebuild this country somehow. So, we'll see. Oh, that's pretty funny, folks. I'm just looking at this now because I actually rented this last night. There's a thing on this thing called link on Facebook. It says the people of today. It's a shared link, and it says Tina Fey just explain why she and Amy Poehler or something have never done a TV series together. But they're showing a picture from that movie called Sisters, which honestly, I told a friend, he doesn't respond back, my friend Matt, because he doesn't want to hear about it. He could care less. It's like, dude, that's your preference, but this is my entertainment. So from all the stress that I'm under, I need this. I rented that movie, Sisters, because honestly, I hate to say it, I just got to love Jones, and she's from actually around this area, for Tina Fey. I think she's, really hot. Not that anybody cares about that. I just think Tina Fey is, super hot. Because there's, some parts of this movie, I was going to buy it so I could just basically masturbate to the scenes where Tina Fey's showing off some TNA, which she does in the movie. But quite honestly, I don't agree with Tina Fey's political views, because she is definitely a left-wing believer, and I'm a complete conservative right-wing person, whatever you want to call it. Not completely, but I'm definitely over that direction by much further than she is in the other one. So, yeah. So, what was I going to say? I just sexually find her attractive. Does that make any sense? I find her sexually attractive. I just don't believe in her politics. But I can say that about a lot of women that are actresses, because they say actors. They don't even say actor or actresses, because then that's politically incorrect. So they say actors. But she's an actress. A lot of actresses out there that I find sexually arousing, so to speak. And she's one of them. So, I watched this movie, and what it was doing, it was just picking on these women or single moms or just fuck-ups they can't even keep in a marriage, that, and Tina Fey plays this character so perfect, and she actually had me fucking laughing really loud. She really had me laughing loud, because she did such a funny job. Now, I don't believe in her politics, but I do like her somewhat as a comedian, as long as she's not picking on the Republican parties like she did with, years ago, or, a couple years ago. My woman that, excuse me, folks, from Canada, because everybody picked on her. But Tina Fey did this thing where she plays basically a mom who is like so immature that she doesn't know how to grow up, and she actually goes one step further where she doesn't get her way, Tina Fey, and she's like taking a temper tantrum. She jumps on she lands on the floor on the grass of a house because her parents had sold their childhood house of her and her sister. She takes a temper tantrum, so she goes on the floor and she starts pounding her hands and her legs like, her feet, like a little girl would, a little kid when you don't get your way when you're a little kid and you start taking a temper tantrum. Well, she does that. And it was like, this is so fucking funny. This is hilarious. I loved her for doing that. So, yeah, I love that. There's a couple other things she does, but she plays basically the mom who never grew up. And then the daughter, the actress who plays her daughter, she says, Mom, I'm tired of, I'm going to be the most responsible person by the time I go to college. I'm not going to even know how to react irresponsible because I'm so used to acting like the parent all these years. For you, who basically, Tina Fey acted like the mom who was still always having the party and stuff. She never wanted to grow up. She never fucking grew up. And it's like, well, this is actually, I hate to tell you, this is true to life, where there is a lot of single mothers out there who are just like that. Probably even that girl I was talking about earlier, who basically dressed like, I hate to say it, like a street hooker at work. And it paid off for her. It really did. But, yeah, I hate to tell you, though, I'm trying to think. Yeah, one thing, it's just plain, it was funny, and I watched the movie, the Sisters movie. So I rented that last night, but they had something up, and then I had to go off on that now. But I really, really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed that. Well, the movie was a little bit boring in some ways, but basically the whole movie, the premise of the movie was all these parents, included these two sisters, quote unquote, who are completely like, they don't know how to handle themselves. And the parents are saying, listen, you need to grow up. Even though they had careers, or one had a career, Tina Fey's character had no career. She couldn't even keep a job because she kept on mouthing off to supervisors that she couldn't even keep a job, but she was a single mom where the daughter didn't want to live with her because she was so irresponsible. She just wanted to party all the time and get stoned and drunk and basically, have sex with everybody. So it was like, yeah, this is actually, Tina Fey is doing a very good job of playing a real-to-life character. That's the way that our society, women act in our society nowadays. But yet they're complaining that, I'm being mistreated and stuff at the same time. So I personally thought the movie was excellent. I really did. I really, really enjoy, in some ways. Wait a minute. Let me take that back. Can I take that back? The movie wasn't excellent, but Tina Fey, it's bad enough I have a Love Jones for her. But there's another thing that she just made it so fucking funny. She, the part she played, she made it really funny. Otherwise, I just thought the movie was okay. It wasn't bad. It just was okay. So thank you for that, Tina Fey, because you actually made me enjoy the movie. And I'm jaded because I love Tina or whatever. I just love Tina Fey to begin with, so I'm going to steer towards her way. Like, I don't want to hear her talk politics. I'd rather have her keep her mouth shut on that, though. So there you go. I watched that. Then I watched the thing on Lizzie, which I spelled out her last name. I won't go any further than that because I wouldn't be able to do a very good job with that. So, yeah, there was something else, too, I wanted to mention. So, yeah, it's just certain stuff like that. I think mainly it was just this woman getting caught, this woman having sex with this teenager. She was a school teacher. She got busted. But the main part I think that bothered me about that was, okay, well, she's ugly, not that attractive. I apologize. I don't want to use the word ugly. Nobody's, ugly. But she's not attractive to the most people. How do you like that one? And by that being said, she's going to get the book nailed. She's going to get nailed to the cross because she's an unattractive woman by most people's standards. So, and this was in Lansdale. So then I had to go off about it still really bothers me about these about these women at my job and these other jobs. All they can do is complain how they're being victimized, but yet they get silver spooned everything, and yet they're victims. It's like you're getting everything you ever fucking wanted, and yet you're making more money than most men. There's more. I think when I played that thing the other day with Milo Yiannopoulos, there is more women making more money. They are bigger breadwinners than most men. That percentage of men that are making more money than women is not that much, quite honestly. So you can't say, oh, well, we're victimized. Okay, you're saying you're victimized, but then you're making more money than most men. So, you can't, you can't play both sides, whatever. I don't know. I don't know what else to say on that fact. So there was that. And I know the friend was upset, my friend Matt, about that. Okay, now he just got left. He has no other choice, so he's going to have to make the best of it. I think that's what he was trying to say about Donald Trump winning. So there was that, too, I wanted to mention. I stepped away from the mic for a second. I don't have a problem because I actually supported Donald Trump at this point. I'm a little leery. I'm a little afraid now that I got what I wanted because, there's that old saying, be careful for what you wish for because you might just get it. Well, guess what? I got it. And now I'm kind of worried. But I'd rather have that than Hillary. I'll just be honest with you right now. I'd rather have that than Hillary. So there was that. And so we got Donald Trump. The friend was upset. I was upset about work, quite honestly, with that whole situation. When I heard that, that just was enough to pretty much send me over the edge. And it's funny right now. I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it with this too. At work, I'm going to start winding down. How's that? Because it's getting really late. It's 4:30, and I didn't even take care of business, so I don't think that's going to happen tonight. And but anyway, at work we were fighting because I work for a place. There's a lot of places in Pennsylvania. I think that's one of the few states we have a lot of places that have union jobs. Unless you work strictly in retail, most of your job's going to be in some type of union. So we, amongst Verizon's another one. Verizon's still fighting because they're on strike. And I told a friend, I said, listen, Verizon's gotten really, really bad. And now that they have their work, their employers out on strike, they probably got what they call scabs, I guess, taking care of business. And it is extremely bad, the quality of the phone calls and the other stuff I get from Verizon. It's like, I hate to say it, it's like shit. And I'm not happy about it. I'm not happy about it at all. So, yeah, so, yeah, what was I going to say? See people putting up pictures of Adolf Hitler, I guess comparing Donald Trump to that. Hey, if you think that he's Hitler, then I definitely want him in office again, Trump. So, yeah, our union came to some type of agreement with the company I work for. So it was like, okay, I'm a little leery. I told a friend tonight, and I said this to myself because I am constantly talking to myself. I forgot about the homeless people, too, I was going to mention. And I said to a friend, if you ever watch Doctor Who, there's the one called Genesis of the Daleks. And in that one, Genesis of the Daleks was when the Daleks were first made. These pepper pot robots that basically, their whole thing is they just want to basically destroy anything that does not look like themselves. They're actually inside our, as the Doctor put one time with Tom Baker, bubbling lumps of hate. They're literally blobs of hate. And their only thing that they live for is to kill everything that does not look like themselves. They just destroy everything. And they had taken over basically 3/4 of the universe, the galaxy, by destroying everything in their path. So, in Genesis of the Dialects, the birth of these monsters on Doctor Who, the thing that actually stemmed it, that it became that way, was their creator known as Davros. And now Davros was, again, he was a creator of these things. He made these genetically altered things called dialects, which wasn't the truth in the very beginning, but that's what they went with back in the, I think, the mid-'70s with Tom Baker. They came up with, okay, we're going to come up with a reason how the dialects really came around or came about. And it was like not a very good one. It was a good one because they actually based it upon, believe it or not, World War II with, Nazi Germany. Because the ones, there was, on Skaro, there was two races. One was the Thals, and I can't remember the other ones, but one were the dialects. So anyway, Davros created these things called the dialects, and it was like, okay, I want my race of these new alien race to take over the planet of Skaro. And he wasn't having much success because he was fighting against the Thals, if I remember correctly. I think it was the Thals. So since he wasn't winning the fight against, his people, which looked like basically like Nazi Germans, weren't winning against the Thals, they decided, like, okay, well, what we're going to have to do is end this war, and then we're going to repopulate the planet with the dialects. So what he did was he gave this. They were under a dome too. The where Davros and the ones that looked like Nazis, they lived under this protective dome that kept them safe while they were destroying the other race of people on this planet. So basically, it got down to where Davros wanted his dialects to take over, not realizing eventually they're going to take over the universe and the galaxy, or galaxies. Depends how you look at it. So he came up with something that would destroy his own fucking people. He figured, okay, I'm going to let the Thals destroy my race of people for the sole purpose that my dialects can take over everything. So what does this have to fucking do with your job, Walter? Well, here's what we go. Our union finally came up with a tentative agreement or something that they agreed upon that we should look at. And if we agree upon it as a whole, then we're going to sign for it. Hopefully that's the way it's going to go. So, yeah, it was like, okay, this is cool. I definitely want to see what it involves, though. Everybody was saying this. But I was thinking in the back of my mind when they said, okay, our union finally, after a couple days after our what do you call it was done, our contract, that it only had taken a matter of 2 more days just to come to an agreement. Like, listen, this is not going to go any further. We came to some agreement. We're going to see if you guys like it. So, how does it remind me of Genesis of Dialects? So, it reminds me of Davros basically ending this situation, and the part, not that part reminds me, but what happens is when the Thals beat the other class of people, the other race of people, not realizing there was some underlying statement, like the Thals, were given the secret by Davros so Davros could have his own people killed just for his own greedy purpose of getting his dialects out there. What reminds me, though, is how these people react, because it happened tonight at work when it was posted online. They said, okay, our agreement has come. We come to an agreement. We have something that maybe you guys want to sign for, but it looks like the wait is over. Like we've come with an agreement with the company. Well, that reminds me of Davros, selling his own people down the drain to get destroyed. Because what happens is with the Thals, when they win this war, it was going on for like centuries between, I forget the Thals and I forget who else. I have to look. Let me see if I can look right now. The two races on Skaro. If I can do it right. Wait, didn't do it right. Two races on Skaro. Noble races, dialects, Thals, and Dals, and Khalids. So there was actually three races. The dialects, but there was the Thals fighting against the Dals. So the Dals actually, I believe, are the ones that were basically the descendants from become the dialects. So anyway, Davros sells to the Thals, if I remember correctly, he sells to the Thals a way to destroy his own race of the Dals. D-A-L-S. The Thals is T-H-A-L-S. So the Thals win this war on Skaro in Doctor Who, called Genesis of the Dialects. The Thals were all ecstatic. They're like, hey, we won the war. We're no longer fighting against each other. Peace has been made. And they're like cheering. They're running down these hallways. They're saying, we won, we won, we won. Hey, this is great. We're all brothers and sisters now. You know, we don't have to fight. We're not against each other anymore. Everybody's free. As soon as that happens, at the very end of this episode called Genesis of the Dialects, guess what happens? Davros releases the dialects. And guess what the dialects do? They destroy everything that is completely different from themselves, including Davros, though, which he comes back, obviously, again and again and again. But the bottom line is, the way the people are reacting tonight, this is what I'm trying to say. We got a tentative agreement. We came up with something. We can sign for it now. We're done. Our agony is over. And they're like cheering the same way as the Thals did in Genesis of the Dialects. And I was like, okay, this is like something I saw on TV years ago, and it did not have a pretty ending. So, okay, well, our company is not going to send dialects out to kill our Union brothers and sisters. Of course they're not going to do that. But on the other hand, what they are going to do is they came to this tentative agreement. The company I work for did not get what they wanted all the way around. They had some speculations. They wanted to work extremely long shifts and a couple other things that, they finally said they gave up on it. So you know what this means? Because I've said this in the past. What is going to fucking happen? Well, guess what? We're going to look at this. We're going to say, well, maybe this is actually the best we're going to get. Don't get me wrong. Maybe we gotten the best we can get. But I'm telling you right now, what's going to end up happening is we're going to sign for this. I guarantee you, we're going to sign for this. We're going to get some, which we always get, a sign-on bonus. And people are actually, some of us, besides myself, are thinking the same way I am about Doctor Who for different reasons. They're really afraid that our company has something else up their sleeve. You know what that's going to be? Well, I hate to tell you, massive layoff to pay for what they did not get. And I know that's on the back of everybody's fucking mind. Okay, we got most of what we want, not everything. What is our company going to do now? Well, probably, most likely, there's going to be a massive, massive layoff, or just more pushing of the thumb screws, making our job even more physically impossible than it already has been. So, when something seems way too good to be true and has been taken care of way too quickly, which this has been going on for a long time, but got resolved within a matter of 2 days after the fact, it kind of makes you wonder, okay, there is something here that people are really scratching their heads on. I'm glad that people are thinking about that. But at the same time, it's not a good sign either. So that's one thing I wanted to mention. I'm glad it's over in myself, but again, the thing that came to mind for me is the fact that it does remind me of Genesis of the Daleks with Tom Baker and from Doctor Who. So, these science fiction shows, they're based upon factual things, and now that factual thing from Genesis of the Daleks was something that happened back during World War II. They kind of interject that. They did that deliberately, by the way. They made it political deliberately. So, because Doctor Who back in the past used to be like that. They're no longer like that. Now they're just nonsense. But back in the day, they had a political statement with John Pertwee and with Tom Baker. That's no longer the case. So I'm just letting you know. It's going on 5 o'clock, so I got to cut this off. So that was that. Oh, the homeless people. I forgot about that again, the homeless people. Okay, I said homeless people, so you're thinking, okay, well, homeless, it's probably some older dudes or, couple or person, because it was a couple, actually. And at first I thought it was just like a boyfriend and girlfriend. And it was in subways around my house. At first I didn't catch wind of it. But then it dawned on me, they could have even been brother and sister, but they were definitely, without a doubt, they were homeless. Because they had their bags of clothes and stuff with them, and they left them at the counter as they ate. And at first, it was like, okay, I don't acknowledge people because I'm just afraid people are going to think I'm a creep more than they think I already am. They're going to even think I'm more creepy. This couple or brother and sister that were homeless were kids, no more than like 15, 16 years old. And I mean, they were like basically. The girl was lost without this boy, but they were they were homeless. At 16 years old, they're on the fucking street. So I had to mention that. I mentioned it to a friend. He did not respond back for whatever reason. I don't know why. But I found that quite disturbing that you see, you're giving money out to minorities and foreigners, basically, from overseas. You give them everything they fucking want. I said this to a friend. They're getting free cars, free housing, living tax-free for 10 years to send their children to schools over here. They're giving every fucking thing that they want without paying any consequences. You have women having children out of wedlock because it's now believed that you should have children but not have a husband to go with it. And you have girls and women having children that a lot of them just don't have the time, the patience, the mentality rate, or the budget to afford a child. I know I can't afford children. I can't even afford myself. I mean, I'm going to have to be probably even to be, I was at one point thinking I'll have to be codependent on my parents to help pay for if I get laid off, or I'm going to take definitely an early loan out of the bank. Out of my 401k. Not a loan, I'm sorry. Early withdrawal. Pay the 40% interest just to get myself, keep my head above water. Pay off my car, pay off my loans I just recently got. Because I asked the bank that I got a loan from, I said, listen, we may be going out on strike within a month or so. And I said, if I go out on strike, does that mean I can kind of just basically, what do you call it, for my loan, like not pay on the loan until I get my job back? Oh, no, you still got to pay on your loan no matter what. Even if you get laid off, it's your responsibility. It's $200 a week I got to pay on a fucking loan if I get. It's not that much, but it's something, a little over $100, whatever. So it was like, okay, well, that case, if that happens, I'm going to be forced to do an early withdrawal, pay the 40, literally, it's going to be 40%, 40% taxes. I'm going to have to do that on taking money out of my retirement fund because I can't afford it otherwise to be able to have to pay for all this stuff. So it looks like I may not have to now, which I'm very glad about. But at the same time, I don't know what's going to be held, what's going to be in my future, with my job still in some ways. So, yeah, so I don't know. But when I saw, I really went off in nowhere's land. But getting back into what I was trying to talk about, but seeing these fucking kids, teenagers that were like 16, it was like 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So they're, they should be in school finishing up, but it did not happen. Why were they homeless? Because they have irresponsible parents or a single mother, and I told you this story before. I'll say it again. That was really disturbing and depressing. Was that one I told you about Kevin Smith the other day, where Kevin Smith told the story that I didn't know about Jason Mewes, where Jason Mewes, when he was a kid, like a little kid, like 12 years old, him and his sister were basically locked for 10 to 12 hours at a time in a locked room or a closet with no lights, no windows for 10 or 12 hours while their mother was doing crack or something else, or doing some type of, or heroin, and leaving their children locked up so she could do this in like a crack house. And that was really depressing. So when I saw these kids, it's like, there could be, because again, I told you before that Jason Mewes had to, basically take care of his sister, or his sister might have been taking care of him. I'm not sure what the case was. I don't know which one was the older sibling. And when I heard that, it's like, this could be the same thing where these poor kids were left to fend for themselves because their mother's somewhere basically getting fucked by some guy or doing drugs. Yeah, I mean, that should bother everyone. That should bother, and, you're talking 2016 now, folks. You're not talking 30 years ago or whatever it was when this happened to Jason Mewes, which it should have never happened to him, but it did. And it's still happening today. That is the problem I have. So everyone, I think I can leave off at that because, again, it's going on 5 o'clock. So everyone, once again, I hope you enjoyed what I did. I'm looking across and I'm seeing that Night Gallery looks like it's on right now. It looks like one I've never watched before, which is kind of impossible, but it does happen once in a while. That it's on Me TV, there might be something dug up. So, yeah, I mean, it's stuff like that. That really, really depresses me, folks. That really depresses me. So, everyone, thank you so much if you listen to this show. And hopefully I didn't say anything too offensive. And I don't mean to be attacking women all the time. It seems like I do, but I just do what I talk about off the top of my head. I don't do anything to offend anybody. I just do what is therapy for me. And honestly, I only have a 10, possibly 10 listener viewer base, so to speak. So it's not that I'm like rocking somebody's world and upsetting them, but they only hear what they want to hear too. I tell a lot of personal stories about myself that are very disturbing, but you don't ever hear me. I never hear back about that. I only hear about the negative that might possibly pertain to that person. That's about all I ever hear back from. Anyway, thanks again. This is Walter. It is 5 in the morning. I do have a job to go to tomorrow, or this afternoon, so I'm not going to get any sleep at this point. Very little sleep, so I need to do that. Thanks again if you do listen to me. If you enjoy what I talk about, try to get other people listening into it. If you find some of the stuff I talk about a little bit, I'm trying to think of the right word, not, basically offensive or anything else, why don't you get somebody else to listen in and get somebody else's opinion and see if they think the same way? Anyway, it is over 2 hours, so that's pretty impressive. I was only going to do it for about 30 minutes, and I didn't think I was going to get a 2-hour show, and it did happen. So thanks again. If you do listen, continue to listen, and if you enjoy what I talk about, just try to get other people to listen into. Either way, if you're tuning into Walter right now, try to get other people to tune into and see what they think. Thanks again. This is Walter from Walter signing off for now.